I think we can start, right? It's already 6 p.m. So first of all, thanks for coming. And I'm Yingjun Wu, and I'm from Reading Wave, and we are the host of the Apache Iceberg Singapore Meetup. So it's essentially the first meetup, the official Apache Iceberg Meetup in Singapore. And I think it's really excited to have so many people to come here. And we are supposed to have the meetup probably based on the requirement is kind of like our recommendations from the Apache Iceberg community. They say that we probably can have the meetup every probably 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah, so which means that for every probably 2 months is right. So it's the first meetup, so super excited. And I definitely don't really want to hijack too much time, but just a pretty short introduction about what is Reading Wave, okay? And so basically okay. I'm Yingjun. I'm the founder of Reading Wave Labs. Prior to start a company, I was at AWS Redshift, the data warehouse team, right? And I was also from working as a researcher as IBM Research Analyst. Before that, I was basically doing my PhD in National University of Singapore. So definitely spend a lot of time in Singapore, right? But definitely I'm not based in here, right? So if you check for what I'm wearing, definitely I'm not based in here, right? So I'm based in Bay Area, and just came here for the meetup and some other stuffs. So what is Reading Wave? One single slide, right? We definitely don't want to waste too much time, right? So basically it's a distributed SQL streaming database. And we offer the best-in-class stream processing, management, and analytics functionalities. It's the open source project. We open source the project in 2022, April 2022, and we have already had a lot of users and paying customers, including some of the best companies in the world, like Fortune 50 companies, Henkel, Siemens, and some of the world's top banks are all paying customers. And even in Singapore, we actually have already we have a bunch of pretty nice paying customers, right? Okay. So why stream processing, right? So definitely we can do batch processing, and but people sometimes will also mention, okay, we want to have stream processing, but why we want to do stream processing? The reason is kind of like simple, because for batch processing, typically what you do is that you load the CSV from your probably from your S3, and then do processing and then generate a dashboard, right? But for stream processing, the model is kind of like different in that. So it's like Ascendant directly consume the data from Kafka, and immediately generates the result and display the result on a dashboard, right? That's pretty cool. And in terms of like, I can just skip this part. Well, in terms of the freshness, it could be as low as milliseconds. Yeah, definitely there are a lot of like competitors or the systems in the stream processing world, but Reading Wave is focused on ease of use and cost efficiency. So let's directly dive into the Kafka, sorry, not the Kafka part, for the Iceberg part, right? Why we want to have Iceberg? This is a pitch for Iceberg, okay? Why we want to have Iceberg? Because we know that people want to do stream processing, and people also want to do ad hoc queries, right? For example, we just want to randomly check for some of the results, right? And people want to check that. And typically, what people do is that's okay. We can use a Snowflake or Redshift or ClickHouse or some other systems, right? For big queries, right? But the thing here, it does once people started using something, they found that probably 1 year later or 2 years later, they got a vendor locked in, right? Snowflake probably charged me too much money, right? Well, and probably they can increase the license fee by, I don't know, 50%. It's kind of possible. And so that's just one reason. And the second reason I found is that in most of the data warehouses or the data lakes were SQL based, right? But we are living in the AI era, right? And a lot of people talk about, okay, let's call the ChatGPT or OpenAI API, right? And then how do you call it? We cannot call it in SQL, right? So you have to call it in Python, right? So there's no Python native Python support, and definitely not just Python, right? So think about for the Java, think about for some other programming languages. You cannot directly query your. I mean, Snowflake has a Snowpark, but for it, think about some other systems where you probably cannot directly use Python to query the data, right? And the third thing I found is that so the no one size fits all, right? So people will say, okay, look, well, Redshift is pretty cool, and but some people will say, okay, Snowflake is great, but Snowflake is kind of expensive, and let's use DB, right? But DB is for free, it's embedded, it's cool. So, but more than that, well, people probably want to do, let's say, graph processing, or people want to do stream processing, or people want to do vector search, right? You cannot just trust one single system to do everything, right? Well, there's no one size fits all. Everyone knows that. If any vendor claims that well, they can do everything, then they don't trust them, and it's just a bullshit. So, so that's why we want to have Iceberg, right? As you can see, well, basically Iceberg is a layer on top of Apache files, and you can just store data in Apache format, and then okay, grab and then bring your so-called the open table format, right? So that's great. And then you can, as long as you have the Iceberg layer, you can query the layer. You can query the data using any query engine you want to have, right? So you can use pandas, you can use Spark, you can use Trino or whatever, right? Whatever system you want to use, right? And then this is my plug. Okay, and the next slide is my plug. Well, then how do you want to ingest the data into your lakehouse, right? For all the Iceberg, right? Yeah, you probably can use you probably can use Spark or Flink, but unfortunately you have to learn something, right? The only thing the only thing is market for that. I think well, probably not the only thing, but for the easiest solution to ingest the data directly into Iceberg, it probably is through Wave. Why? Because it has Postgres protocol, which means that you can just insert data into Iceberg using the Postgres SQL. Yeah, that's my only pitch. And definitely there are a lot of challenges in the Iceberg world, but we found that was I will skip this part. We found that its performance is great. Iceberg is definitely have showcased. So I mean, this is just a fair comparison within Wave. We found that Iceberg performance right now is super good, and we also super excited about the Iceberg 2025 because there are a lot of exciting features such as it will support the RBAC layer, and it will support the CDC. It will also support the materialized reviews in the Iceberg 2025. Super excited, super exciting, right? So that's everything I want to share. And let's start our meetup, right? So it's just a welcome talk, and